Right, so our format is straightforward. We've got 3 guests, 15 minutes to provide their presentations. Following that, we're going to open the floor for questions. So we'll hold questions to the end. All right, so let's get started. Our first presenter is Deetra Brown. Deetra is a business service supervisor at CareerSource serving for Pinellas County. Her responsibilities include partnering with employers to hire participants, partnering with the community organizations, and helping people get back into the workforce. Her passion is connecting people with education and career opportunities. Prior to her time at CareerSource Pinellas, she has worked in marketing management and training, higher education, corporate recruiting, and workforce development at various grant-funded programs in Arizona. Welcome, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So how many of you like Halloween?
Oh, I love Halloween.
Because these numbers may be scary. So I'm going to do my best to give you some trends that are happening here in Pinellas County, and you may see some numbers for Tampa as well in regards to what's going on in Pinellas County with this employment trends. So here we go. The latest employment data, Pinellas County unemployment rate remains the same from January of 23. At 2.4%, the unemployment rate is lower than a year ago when it was at 3%. The labor force is up 20,000 over same time last year at 521,492. Solutions. We may have to opt for a different workforce than what we're used to seeing. Bonding. CareerSource offers that. Apprenticeships. A lot of companies, they're transitioning to apprenticeships because they want to develop that workforce from within. So there are a lot of different options, and this may not be the greatest thing to go over during lunch. But I did want to be as honest as possible with what is going on employment-wise in the county. And I'm sure those that are in HR, you feel it and you see it every day with positions that have not been filled for 6 or more months. And this is why. Things will turn around, not as fast as we hope, but it will turn around. There are people that still want to work.
Thank you so much. Those statistics can be a little bit scary, so hopefully some of the younger folks will get into the labor market. So I just want to thank you so much again for that presentation. Our next speaker is going to be Kay McKenzie. So Kay has 20 years of experience in pre-employment screening. She's the CEO of Check Before Hire, a nationwide background and drug screening company. She and her team help clients make informed and diligent hiring decisions. They offer cost-effective, accurate, fact-based screening while keeping in full compliance with state, local, and federal laws, including the FCRA. She currently serves as a director of the Central Pinellas Chamber and is part of our Chamber Ambassadors team. So please welcome Kay.
Thank you. I sound pretty good, don't I? So before I get started, because we have to have fun with my boring compliance stuff, let's take a picture. If I can get it work. Oh, smile in the camera. Okay, there you go. So, this is called buyer beware, because I know there's so many things that can happen in your departments, and you're so excited that you've got this position to fill, and they sound so good to be true, and then I hear this a lot. Do I really have to tell them I'm doing a background? But it's a friend of my Uncle Joe's friend's best friend's daughter. That her resume was amazing. So what's the point of doing a background check? My top 3 tips thank you, Dave, is one, I say always do a background. It's going to save you money and time in the long run. Two, if you are hiring for a top level position, especially accounting, operations, stuff like that, supervisory, go with a pro. Have a pro who does this for a living, knows the system, knows good resumes. Get with an HR person who knows what they're doing. Because if I'm hiring for my company, I'm the owner, and I get very emotional. And sometimes people walk through my door and they are too good to be true. So on average, if you do these steps, you will probably save yourself $3,000 to $4,000 per employee of hiring, because you need to hire the right one the first time. It costs about $3,000 to $4,000 when you're hiring a new person. And my last tip, audit your paperwork. Get somebody who knows and can help you. We'll help you, but order your paperwork. Not your HR handbook. We don't do that. That's for Puzzle HR. So happy hiring, people. Thank you.
All right, so we have heard now from employment trends and business stats. We've heard recruiter beware, hiring the best. So we've gone through a couple different things that we all need to know in this room. So wrapping up our panel presentation, we have Mr. Doug Ferris. So Doug is currently the managing director of Silverwing Enterprises, a counseling and investing group, and serves as an executive advisor to management teams following acquisition. He also consults on M&A, financial performance, and generational transition. He is the chairman of the board of the Professional Association of Resume Writers and Career Coaches, a board advisor of DNR Media, and the president, board of director of the Rotary Club of St. Petersburg. Previously, he served on the board of trustees of Firelands Regional Health and led a shift towards digital media at Sandusky News Group. He has experience in managing dispersed organizations and has special insight into family-owned and tightly held businesses. He is an award-winning business columnist, and he shares his leadership insights on the editor and publisher website. Please welcome Doug.
So the resume sounds fantastic. I paid someone to write it, so I'm glad it sounds good. End of days, most of my career has been taking big thoughts and putting them into real action, and whether that's in a large corporation or a small setting. That's to a large degree what I have done and what I do in a variety of settings. As we talk today about culture, I want you to think about, how do I take the big idea of building a culture that is going to be attractive and help retain people, and put that into action. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips for each thing that we talk about. The perfect culture does not exist today. Don't chase it. It's all about the speed of the leader and setting a culture that is adaptive, that recognizes what people in your workforce want. You'll get a workforce that makes sense. I got like 30 more slides, but I'll be done now.
Doug mentioned, and you talked a little bit about hiring people with criminal backgrounds, but you've told me a story before about you kind of evaluate what those are, right? And help the hiring company decide. Okay, you tell the story.
Okay, so I have a couple of clients that do second chance. They want to know what they've done and the charges are. Then they evaluate, once we've picked apart the record, to see where they can. Like, they're not going to hire somebody if they're going in people's houses or babysit. But on a manufacturing floor, they'll know where to place them. Does that answer? No? Okay.
Hi, I just also want to add to Hayes' statement. There's also bonding that you can do for individuals that have criminal backgrounds. And this is simply an insurance. And it depends on the amount, but you can bond individuals that have criminal backgrounds. And, again, Career Source, we do offer that, for employers in Pinellas County. And it's free.
Thanks. All three of you talked about getting outside the box for finding employees or, maybe fishing in different ponds. If any one of you or all three of you would mention maybe the most out there situation that you've had where an employer or ways that they've gotten new employees or found better talent that have worked for them. I'd love to hear any examples that you have.
Referrals do seem to work the best. I am not above, and I have several times handed my business card to waitstaff. I know that sounds like an old trope, but I do it earnestly, and sometimes I have a $20 bill around it. That helps. Recruited a very great person sitting next to me at Rotary one day, visiting student, coming back to the States, needed to have some work. You just got to ask. A lot of times you got to ask in uncomfortable ways.
Stand on a corner? No, I do ask some of my employees, I get a smiley face if they've actually got a background coming through. But a lot of them, they do use Career Source. They've also used PTAC, but for a more professional role, not on a manufacturing floor, I do suggest that they do get professional help with somebody who does that for a living.
But I will say, again, Career Source, we have programs for companies. And they're paid work experience programs where we will, if they're VOO qualified, we will pay them $15 an hour for 12 weeks. But employers, they have to agree to host those types of programs. And then there's on-the-job training programs where individuals can be, employers can be reimbursed up to 50% of the wages that they are paying to individuals. So we've been able to funnel employees to companies that way, and then they end up hiring them as permanent employees, but as a way for them to kind of alleviate some of the turnover costs that comes with hiring an individual that may not work out and they come for 2 days. But it's not a loss for them because Career Source is funneling the funds for that. So there's training programs that are available for employers. The referrals like Doug spoke about, Kay. There.
As AI advances, things like ChatGPT, what do you think the impacts are going to be to our workforce?
Thanks. So I started my career, a lot of my careers in the news media business, and there was already automated work starting there 10 years ago to rewrite sports stories, and it scared people. It's coming for white collar. It's coming for middle management and white collar. It's coming. So it's going to start working its way in. Technology's going to start getting better, and a lot of the stuff in the middle is going away.
You three have done an amazing job today. I think we've learned a lot of information, and we've obviously gotten helpful tips and things what to do and what not to do. So thank you, all three of you, very much. Tom?
Thank you, all three of you again. I think I do have a question to all three, but I think I'm going to aim it at Doug at this point because we did a business survey and we're hearing from people, our businesses, about finding the right people. Kay talked about how to get them in, hiring the best. My concern is when I see the data showing that there is a concept among a lot of people that we're looking at as the next generation that don't even have an appreciation of work. And I'm kind of wondering how we go out there and get these people who are not even looking for work from your statistics to realize the benefits that come with being part of a team. Don't say family, but team. And getting engaged in a community and supporting a community. Those numbers of 100,000 short jobs in the future that people aren't filling. As a 62-year-old boomer, I'm like, okay, who's taking care of me in the hospital when I'm there in 20 years? It's a fear. Your thoughts on that? Because I'm kind of wondering about, we get them in and you got some good ideas to go with the culture, but what about the ones that don't even seem to want to be engaged in having a job? I know it's a tough one.
Oh no, Tom, if there's one thing I have, it's thoughts, big thoughts about all kinds of things. A couple things to note. One, the up and coming workforce is not averse to work. They're happy to work. They want to come work, but they're going to work and they're done. That's an important distinction and an important difference. They're not taking it home, they don't want to think about it, and they don't necessarily want 50 hours. So we have to look at more different diverse things. We just asked the AI question. A lot of work's going away. We don't see it yet, but a lot of the middle work is going away. McDonald's, you don't have to talk to anybody, and I think don't even need a human anymore to get a burger into your hand. So automation's gonna come and it's gonna fix a lot of this stuff. We're just not seeing it yet.
Right.
So,
What about those people, like, we have the numbers that aren't even looking?
well,
That demographic, that whole concept of working, we need them.
we actually need to get people back into the workforce, but we also need to create the demand for people to need to be in the workforce.
That's what
So
I'm
if they're finding a way to live without being actively in the workforce, doing gig work, doing things like that, I don't know that you're gonna attract them.
Mom and dad are gonna die someday.
And then they'll leave them money.
They're gonna leave them money. You're right, that's probably what's gonna happen. Well, thank you for that. We see that number come up a lot on our surveys about finding the right people. I love the talk about the boomers versus the younger generation, but here we all are, and we all have jobs in this room. I wanna talk, I don't need this. People know me, I don't need this. And it sounds really echoey, I don't know, I just get that feeling of an echo.
This one. Oh, it is Kate. Check before hire.
Okay, you got check before hire. Couple of bottles in there, open up that baby. Thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you guys for making the trip up here to see us. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope to see you all at the Ballpark Bash next Thursday. I do have tickets and wristbands. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.